on, phone off, phone volume down. Let me check mine. Oh no. We're probably live right now, which is hilarious. Phone off. Oh, phone volume down. Let me check mine. My fault. We're probably live right now. I know. We hear the double. I'm about to shut right out. Sorry. Here we go. Yes. Hi, everyone. We are late, but we are here. We had some technical difficulties this evening.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year is the first show of the year. So let's dive in. Welcome to the Quest Show. I am your host, Lana Quest, and this is my co-host,
Honor. So glad to be back in 2022.
2022, yes, bear with us. We are getting the kinks out. We have a great show for you. It is called the Year of Exposure, coined by Honor. We are going to do a 2021 year in review. But before we do that, please, everyone, if you're out there lurking, you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. If you have subscribed and you're watching, you're in the chat, please thumbs up this video, share it. I know y'all don't be sharing it, but I'm asking y'all to share it and all that good stuff. And we're going to get into the show.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, right. Well, before we get into the show, anything on your mind? Anything special happened this week? I mean, it's been 2 weeks since we've been here, right?
Like, it's been 2 weeks. It's been kind of a quiet 2 weeks other than Omicron and COVID. And I'm going to pick a bone, but I know they are doing the best that they can, but testing being almost non-existent. Yeah. Come on, administration. Come on, governors. Come on, mayors. Let's get it together and get this effort out here to get these tests so that people know their status and are not unknowingly passing Omicron or Delta. And then I heard there's a new one, but I don't even want to get into all of that. But so that we're not pairing these various variants that are out here with COVID. Get your vaccinations, people. We are going to start out 2022 holding people accountable. 2022 is going to be the year of accountability. And you're accountable to yourselves and to everyone else around you. So
I agree.
No
accountability. Girl, tell it. So we are, as we said in the beginning of the show, going to do a 2021 year in review. I'm not going to grab everything, everyone. Like, we're going to leave some things out. If you think of something, throw it in the chat. But these are just things that we thought about. First, we're going to go through some notable deaths, which kind of doesn't sound like we care, but we do care. But these are notable deaths that we want to go through. I don't know. Who do you think number one? The biggest one.
I don't know if I can rank them. I know.
Well, the one that took you, the one that impacted you the most. How about that? We'll do it like that.
The ones that impacted me the most were personal. My uncle, for one. I'm just Betty White, for one. Simply because she was, you always find things out after people pass, but she really was a great, decent, and honorable person. Colin Powell is another. I'm drawing some blanks, but there was some I heard at the time, and it was just like, no. And you know what? And here's the thing. I don't want to meld 2020 into 2021. I know DMX's death, and like, was that last year or was that?
That was 2021. And it's interesting because I have him on my list, because that was like not out of all of the ones in 2021, but that one was So these are all notable, like Cicely Tyson, which she was 96. So that was amazing. But
Exactly. Cicely Tyson.
right,
Yes.
Desmond Tutu, Larry,
Yes.
Larry King, 87. Like
You
these,
right. People that actually passed this year. There were some notable people that actually lived long, full lives. So we do
right, right,
have that to be able to celebrate, and some of the legacies that they left
mm,
will just endure forever and ever and ever.
right.
So
And that's what makes me sad about like DMX. Can someone tell us if DMX died in 2020 or 2021? I think it's 2021. No, you know what? It's 2021. 2020.
okay.
It's 2021. So when I looked it up. But out of all of these people,
Mhm.
Christopher Plummer, Robert Downey Sr.,
Mhm.
Cicely Tyson, like you said, they all lived long lives. They all were very accomplished. They all got to uh,
Bell Hooks is another.
bell hooks, right? They all did these great things.
Mhm.
DMX, it seems like he lived, but he lived for us and not really for himself, right? He spent
Right.
so much time in turmoil and fighting his demons, and his fight actually helped other people.
Mhm.
Um, and that's what's sad because he didn't get to realize like how special he
Everything that I
really
think
was.
he could have been.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
that was Bismarck. He passed as well. Yeah.
Right.
Like there's I don't know who Draco the Ruler is, but he passed. There's like a lot of rap cats that passed. You know who? Kango Kid. He just passed. Can't even tell you a song, but he was big in like the 90s hip hop. They'll probably say,
Wow.
Dave's probably going to say something smart in here. But Kango Kid, he passed colon cancer, though.
And that would Bismarcky, one of the earlier rappers to pass because of health conditions, even before the dude from Tribe Called Quest was, and I can't think of this, I can see this guy in my mind. We got our own thing.
Oh, right. You're right. I can't remember, but I know, right,
All lights can do. Right. He was one of the first that
right,
died early because of health complications. And it seemed like there has been a steady stream of notable rappers from our day and hip hop
right,
artists from our day that are passing away because of health complications.
right. And
So,
yeah, and he actually said it because he documented like his journey with colon cancer on YouTube. Like he videotaped the whole thing, and in one of them, he talked about not having medical insurance.
Heavy
Like,
D. Thanks, DA. Heavy D. Yep.
yeah, right. Right. And that's what he talked about. He said he had the symptoms for the longest. Like we know the symptoms, like, bleeding from the rectum is like the number one in the beginning symptom, but he never wanted to get it checked out because he didn't have good health insurance to go and get the colonoscopy and those things like that. He
Right.
didn't say how long he let that go, but it must have gone for a very long time, like a long,
Exactly.
yeah. So
Exactly.
it's unfortunate that needs to be 2022. I guess that's some one of the moving forward, like moving forward. These
Be
people
accountable.
be accountable, but be accountable for yourself and be accountable. You sign that contract, make sure you got some medical insurance, or you take that money and get yourself some medical insurance because I don't know, doesn't every state have some type of state health insurance? Is that not?
But that normally
Doesn't take care of
has to
those
be
things?
below the or at the poverty line for that. So
Right. Uh,
yeah,
Yeah, well, Desmond Tutu as well. Yeah,
just a very
yeah,
long and fulfilling life. And speaking of Desmond Tutu, because I didn't see very much of it, but there was the comment out there of some of the things that he did, um, over the years, not being, I guess, as beneficial uh to people or people in Africa as he could have been. And I just feel like when you get to live to your 90s, hopefully you have evolved immensely, in your views. You have, as you gain knowledge and you travel and you get to know people and you get to know the ways of society, that you evolve in your views and you become an even better person as a result of living and learning. And I think he is an example of that. And
Right.
then Joe Biden is an example of that as well. So.
Colin Powell, there's so many of them. And, that's what I don't like about social media is just like, you just see so much stupidity. Like before we were shielded from the stupidity. We knew it was there, but we were kind of shielded. But now it's just like, people are just stupid. Like people do evolve. I am not who I was 20 years ago.
No.
Things that I've said 20 years ago, like you'd be like, oh my God, like you said that, you believe that? Because some of the things, I used to believe in a death penalty when I was younger. I was stuck on it. If you kill somebody in my family, you got right. But when you get older, you understand, like, wait a minute, this is lopsided. This is like they're only killing Black and brown folk.
Exactly.
And they ain't even guilty. So then one guilty person being electrocuted or sent to the death row, one is too many. One is too many.
Right.
So it's an imperfect system. So we're off on a tangent, but yes, yeah, growing and evolving, like, and that is a part of like accountability and going into 2022. If somebody needs some New Year's resolutions, keep watching, because that's one. Growing and evolving is definitely should be on somebody's list, because everyone needs to grow and evolve.
Exactly.
There were also some notable court cases in 2021, like a lot.
I think 2021 was a good year for
Black
people in the Black community. You're right. There was the Ahmaud Arbery murder trial that ended
the Chauvin.
There was the
Chauvin.
The George Floyd murder that resulted in the conviction of police officer Derek Chauvin. Ex-police officer. And
now he's somebody's
murder trial, right, that resulted in a conviction of ex-police officer Kim Potter. The fact that 2 police officers were convicted and one trio of certified racists.
The Klan brothers. Yes.
I'm laughing, but I'm being really serious. So, 20 years ago, that just did not happen.
No, you're absolutely right.
Not happen.
You're absolutely right.
And what is it? 40, 50 years ago, you could blow up a church with 4 little girls inside and nothing happened to you at all.
Absolutely.
So I think we still have a long way to come.
Yeah.
But I think it was a good year for the Black community.
It was a good year for the Black community. I absolutely agree. Like, just to watch their faces, because it's like, in particular, Derek Chauvin, because he really thought he had that privilege. He thought he had that blue shield. And when they read those verdicts, and you could just see him just like, wow, yeah, you don't have the blue shield. And, it's a start. We have a long way to go. Like, we can't even celebrate really, because it's just obvious. Like, we're celebrating the obvious. That's what's so messed up about the situation. They should be found guilty because they were guilty.
Exactly.
We're celebrating because we never get a win. And it's not even like it wasn't really a win. It was like, it was justice.
It was justice.
Right.
But we'll do some justice. We really are. And I think one of the other important things that happened for us this year is the appointment of Black judges, Black female judges, record number that Biden appointed to the judicial system this year. Most notably, there were 2, maybe 3, I know, appeals judges that were appointed. And, as we talk about justice reform, one of the main components of that, once they've been convicted, is the appeal process, we need women and women of color and Black judges that are going to understand some of the perhaps systematic racism that went into the conviction in the first place. We cannot continue to have our court systems filled with old white men that, whose philosophies hold, lock them up, put, and throw away the key. We need some Black mothers out there.
No, you're absolutely right.
Let's see a different side.
Yeah, 2022. Oftentimes, even with the coming elections, we know what's at stake. And I think a lot of people don't understand really what's at stake. But if you look at these cases, this is what's at stake, right? It's not just, I don't want to vote again because Biden's not giving me everything I need all at once. Like, if you take Biden out of this picture, we still have local governments. We still have, as Honor said, judges, DAs, like these people we need to put in place. We keep going back to Keith Ellison. And if Keith Ellison was not the DA, there would be no justice for Dante Wright and George Floyd. Right. There would be no justice. He is the one that said, I am indicting these police. I'm going to do that. And he did that. If that was a Republican, what would have happened? Nothing. Just nothing. That's how imperative this is. Like, this is dire. You let Mitch McConnell and all of them and Kevin McCarthy get back into Congress. Watch those judges. If you think the Supreme Court is Trump's people, you ain't seen nothing yet. It's all she wrote. Like, we are in trouble. That's why, what's his name, needs to retire. Was it Roberts? Is it Roberts?
I'm not sure which one it is.
I know we had this discussion.
Yeah.
They need him to retire now so they can appoint someone that Mitch won't fight, because if they get the majority again, they're gonna fight anyone that we nominate. They're gonna like, oh no, it's too soon in I don't know. Right. We can't do it now because it's too soon or it's too late or whatever, wherever the wind's blowing for Mitch McConnell. Like, it's just not gonna happen. So wow. We did get
I think along those lines, right? DA from the chat was saying without the videos, we wouldn't have those convictions either. But I think that makes the case that body-worn cameras for law enforcement needs to be a national priority.
Right.
And you want to put more money into law enforcement, allocate or mandate that a certain amount of that goes towards body-worn cameras so we can see what's going on. And proper training so that we don't get a whole bunch of, non-videos because you didn't know to turn it on or whatever.
Right. I was just about to say that. And like, you get fined or something if your video is not on. Like, how is your video not on? Like, how is your video not on? Did they have body video? Is that some of the video from George Floyd? Was that body? I can't remember. They did, right? Some of those angles,
right? The video was the one that Daniela, the young lady, shot. Right. But then they had the different angles from the three police officers, and then they had
the cop car too, right? Yeah.
And then Cam Potter, of course, they had body-worn camera from them as well. But it really needs to. It's about transparency.
Right.
It's about transparency.
Right. And they don't want that. That is something that they do not want. Is transparency. Hey, you want to talk politics? Our favorite topic?
Sure. Politics in 2021.
2021 was big, and we don't even it doesn't even seem like it. Like, we got Biden in 2021.
Right?
Yes. We got Biden. The inauguration was in 2021. We got VP Harris, the first Asian, the first Black, the first woman VP.
Yes.
2021 was pretty big. Yeah.
We got a normal first lady back because Dr. Jill is wonderful.
Yes, she is. And she is actually the first lady that's working a full-time job while being the first lady.
Exactly.
I mean, Melania may have. I don't know. DA would probably say she was working on her back, I think.
Want to leave that alone.
I mean, the back problems, the back pain, working on the back, like, like chiropractor. Well, what else happened?
2021.
Yeah. Infrastructure.
Infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
The American Rescue Plan.
Oh, right. Because that was like one of the first things.
We started out 2021 with stimulus checks. I know it seems like it was a long time ago.
That is true.
It was only really a year ago,
less
than a year ago, because Biden had not yet taken office. We are, I think we should acknowledge that we are on the eve of the insurrection of 1/6.
That happened in 2021.
That happened in 2021.
Yeah.
The 1/6 Select Committee was formed, and I have to say, I think moving right along just fine. I am pleased with the information that has come out thus far. And I'm pleased with how they've run the investigation. I really feel like there haven't been any leaks. I think some people have been frustrated because, they don't know what is going on. But I think the committee has been earnestly at work, letting information come out when it suits them. You heard a lot of people grumbling, there's nothing going on, they're not doing anything. And then, you hear Bernie Thompson, chairman, come out and say, we've interviewed 5,000 people so far. I know it's been a great number, but not that many. They are working. We do have people cooperating. Don't let the Mark Meadows of the world get you down. We have people that are very willing to talk. And so I think that I just think we are going, the report, I hope they are looking to wrap up before midterms. I hope the report is out there. Because I think once people are referred to the DOJ, it doesn't matter who sits in Congress. It's then a DOJ investigation, correct?
Right. Because it's been referred to the DOJ. Like, that's Congress is done. I thought. I mean, I don't know all.
They'll do their report and make recommendations, probably even for legislature, different things that need to be done to prevent something like that from happening again. But as far as the criminal complaints, they're already shuffling around in the same frying pan as Trump, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, let's just go back to that insurrection again, because that was like pretty unbelievable that they actually had the money. Like, wow, Trump is like, he leaves me speechless sometimes, because like, who thinks like that? Like, he really was like, yo, I'm not leaving. We can do this. We can turn this over. And they really got together. And like, the Republicans are really on one right now. Like, he has really opened up their eyes because he was able to get away with so much. And that's why they're at the point now where they're just like, we don't have to do this. No, we're not showing up. Trump never shows up to anything. He just doesn't do it. And they're just taking a page from his playbook. That's exactly what they're doing. But like, that is,
I think they have taken a page from his playbook, and I think that they have taken it one step further. I've read somewhere today that on some social media sites from the far right, they were talking about Trump's age. I would not be at all surprised, and I'm not going to go into, how true it is, but just the fact that you even see something like that when they are trying to use Biden's age to get Trump back in, I really think they have figured out Trump is toxic. They don't want to have to deal with him. He's not going to play nice in the sandbox at all. And DeSantis is a younger, more slimy, more play in the sandbox person than he is. Which is why I think you hear these rumblings, because those two are going to have issues with each other.
DeSantis and Trump, you're saying, because DeSantis wants to run.
Oh, I absolutely believe DeSantis wants to run. He's trying to kill off the entire state of Florida to get the nomination. What do I have to do?
We up
Bring
one.
Donald Trump? All
Like,
right.
how are you up 1,000% in cases, positive cases? Like, how is that even possible? How is that? Like, I heard that on the news, and I'm like, what in tarnations? Like, I had to look that up. Like, 1,000% you're up?
That
What?
is insane. It's just absolutely insane. That's his strategy. That is his campaign strategy.
No, I'm just gonna kill everybody.
I'm just going to kill everybody. Yeah.
But he's
Mhm.
killing his voters.
I don't think they've realized that yet. I don't think, and I think because they have the disinformation um broadcasted to them on Fox News and other news channels like that. I don't think they're being told that you all are dying. For better or for worse, when COVID first came out, they blasted it from the hilltops. Black people are dying at twice the rate of whites. You all are dying. You all need to get yourselves together. I don't think they're getting that same message.
Wow, maybe they still think the blacks are dying.
Yeah,
Maybe,
I don't think they're getting that same, especially in more rural areas.
right. I mean, but it's their family members. Yes, it's quite an interesting thing, and you're absolutely right. He's
Mhm.
perfectly okay with them dying. He's like, I'm going to Cancun with Cruz. He's good. He's
Speaking of notable events and politics at play,
yeah,
going to Cancun while your entire state freezes. That was
yeah,
another notable happening in 2021. God awful happening at
yeah,
that.
yeah. And he had a fight with Big Bird.
I'm voting for Big Bird again. Okay.
That was notable in 2021. Politician gets into a fight with Big Bird, and then Big Bird runs for office.
I'm going to go ahead and establish residency just so that I can vote for Big Bird against him.
Exactly. That is 2021. 2021 started off too with us looking at those trucks of vaccines. Remember being glued to the TV, watching those trucks
Mhm.
leave
Mhm.
those warehouses with
Oh,
the
right,
vaccines?
right.
Oh
As
my.
soon as the approval. And you
Whew.
know what is sad about our ongoing COVID fight and the disinformation that continues is that those vaccines were working. And not to say they aren't still, but we really were on an upward trajectory as far as kind of getting the best of or getting a handle on, I won't say getting the best of, getting a real
Right.
handle on COVID. I mean, they really were. We
Yeah.
were able to loosen regulations and be out during the summer, and we didn't see
Right. Right.
notable spikes like that
Right.
when we began to open back up. Plus, we had the vaccines going on.
Right.
So
Right.
I
Sabotage.
don't know. Kill your people to own the libs.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. The Republicans just started getting pissed off. They're like, oh my God, people are having fun. They're alive. They're out. Biden's winning. And man, once that happened, like you said, it's just like, no, take ivermectin. No, you don't need the shot. No, you don't need a like all of that
Mm-hmm.
disinformation came out, and here we are right now, square one, once again. Well, not really, not for us. I mean,
Right. Well, I heard today statistic from Maryland that three-quarters of all people that are being admitted into the hospital are not vaccinated, and only 2% of the current hospital population are those that are vaccinated and boosted.
yeah,
2%
right.
of all hospitalizations.
And they
So
don't
yeah,
believe
we
it.
not, yeah.
They're not believing that. They don't believe the numbers, which is insanity to me. So, you know what else happened? Afghanistan ended the war. 2021,
It did end.
the war ended. Yeah. And they're still calling it a botched a botched exit plan. I'm like, but the war is done.
And you know what? And I've heard that they are continuing through other measures, diplomatic measures, other avenues to try to get people out that are still trying to get out. We understand that some people still have families there, and that we know that the situation is one of danger because there's a new regime and they were not nice to begin with.
Right.
I You reminding me of Afghanistan also reminds me of my biggest rant for all of 2021 and will continue beyond is mainstream media, because you talking about Afghanistan kind of reminded me that we haven't heard about Afghanistan on the news anymore.
Yeah.
Like once there was no more clickbait to be had about Afghanistan,
Correct.
once they milked all they could. First it was the botched execution. Then it was, we got out record numbers, but then it was people were still left. And then it went to people having personal stories, people they knew personally that they had talked to on WhatsApp that was still left. And I'm not denigrating any of these people. I understand the importance of that. But then it went to the girls in Afghanistan, and for 20 years they lived this way, and what are they going to do? And now it's crickets. But the women are still there. There are still people that need to be gotten out, but we have moved on to the next,
Right.
if you will, mainstream media. And we really have to do better about informing the people in the United States about what is going on in their country as well as other countries, so they don't have such a narrow-minded view of what's important or of their importance, our importance. We really need that.
Right. We absolutely do. Like if we want to be, if mainstream media wants to be better than Fox News, then they have to do better with their reporting. Right? Like report the facts, stop sensationalizing everything. There's nothing on the shelves. You're not going to have a Christmas, the economy, inflation. But
what happened to inflation?
Right.
Inflation was just 2 weeks ago. It was at a 30-year high. Is it no longer?
No, we're on January 6th now. So that's
so inflation's old news, but it was hysteria 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Right.
And no one's talking about gas. Right. Exactly. So we know we're going to accountability. You gotta hold them accountable. You gotta keep calling them out, like pushing the needle. Like 2022 is a really important year. So we can't afford to be sensationalizing this nonsense because,
majoring in the minors, as my father used to say. Major, just focusing on the small and just not even grasping the bigger picture in front of us.
Exactly. And before you know it, it's time to vote, and you're like, oh my God, no one's turning out. The turnout's so low. What's going on? Like,
right. Exactly.
Why do you think?
Speaking of 2021, the economy actually did really well. From unemployment numbers dropping to lows to the holiday retail season, I think profits were up 11% or something like that. I want to say 8%, 11%. You heard about that a little bit, but you can't have 30-year inflation and record profits, a record holiday season shopping, and they really have to get the narrative. The narrative needs to be consistent, and I think it needs to be one where it moves the country forward. Right. That's just what I believe. Not that we don't talk about bad things, but let's frame things properly so that we can be unified in something. My goodness.
Yeah, but DA made a good point. He said it's about profits and ratings, and it just really is. And as long as it's about profit and ratings, this is what's going to happen. And that's why we need, little channels, NPR, PBS, C-SPAN, things like that. You have to start watching that deal with the facts. So let's see. I do want to get to the game because I do have 2021 quotes. But there were some notable things in sports real quick. Tiger retired.
Well, and played again.
And what is
so that was he retired and he played with his son in a father-son championship after his horrific accident. They came in second. And I just think that is wonderful for him to be able to be building a legacy. First of all, have something fun to do with his son and his son.
You're right.
That made him one of the greatest golf players on earth. But just all of that has just been really nice to watch, and hopefully has given him kind of a new lease.
Yeah.
On, I'm not a professional golfer anymore, but I'm a hopefully potential professional golfer's dad. So
yeah. I mean, that's going to be fun to watch for sure. We watched Steph Curry beat Ray Allen as the best shooter.
Okay.
Yeah, so we did see that. And that's it in our year in review, unless you have something else. But I do have some 2021 quotes that I pulled out.
Some 2021 quotes. See how much people paid attention to.
Right, exactly. Is Kevin in here? Because Kevin, he has a hard time.
You said that Tiger did not retire.
Oh, he didn't? Is he still playing? What's going on with Tiger? Did he come back? I thought he said he retired. Like I legit thought he said, I'm retiring from golf now. Well, if he did it, yay!
Yay, we're happy.
Exactly. Looking forward to seeing Tiger on the what is it called? Golf course?
Yeah, on the course.
Be like, I'm on the court.
That's basketball.
Just kidding. All right. Let's do some 2021 quotes and questions. All right. Let's see. Keeping teeth in your mouth as you grow old should not be a luxury in this country. That was one of my favorite ones.
Okay, DA. He's giving us grief in the chat.
Oh,
talk about sports.
You sure can. That's why we have a chat. So, like, if you say something that we need redirection, we have you guys in there to help us out.
Exactly.
We can do a whole sports segment. We didn't talk about. I don't know. But anyway, let's go back to the quote. He says, "Big money." Oh my God, keeping teeth in your mouth as you grow old should not be a luxury in this country. And it's not beg money. Close, though, begins with a B.
For them?
Huh?
Begins with a B?
Yeah. The first name begins with a B.
I thought I knew who that was. Now I'm not so sure.
Keeping teeth in your mouth as you grow old should not be a luxury in this country. Begins with a B. He is a senator.
Okay, I'm back on track, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Anyone in the chat knew? Mm-hmm. Oh, we're missing Michelle Porter in here. Oh. Keeping teeth in your mouth as you grow old should not be a luxury in this country. I don't know how far they are behind. Oh, Betty White. Oh my God. I said a senator. Oh, Kanye. Oh my God.
Wait, is Betty White getting ready to replace Terry Crews for everything?
And right. Or Kanye. Strong farming girl. Who is it, girl? Who do you think it is? He didn't win the strong fireman. Strong fireman. Biden, no. A senator. Keeping teeth in your mouth as you grow should not be a luxury in this country.
I'm going to give another hint.
His initials are BS.
BS?
Yeah.
I don't know who it is again.
Really? Oh my God. I'm just going to tell y'all. Bernie Sanders.
Oh.
He said, I cannot. Oh my God.
Next.
Okay. A skinny Black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president only to find herself reciting for one. A
I know who that is.
skinny black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president only to find herself reciting for one. Senator DMX. Oh my God. A skinny black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president only to find herself reciting for one.
Come on, people.
Yes, come on. It's not Kanye.
It is so hard.
Oh my God, he says Tupac. It's just getting worse. I said a skinny black girl. Candace Owens.
Struggle edges. No.
She is a skinny black girl.
Well, she's in a fight with the former guy, so
I know, right? She sure is. A skinny black girl descended from slaves. Candace Owens didn't descend from slaves. Like, what's wrong with y'all?
Yes, she did.
Not according to her.
I'm so sorry, Candace, to inform you, honey.
He descended from Strom Thurmond.
I don't know what else to tell you.
A skinny black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president only to find herself reciting for one. Reciting is the key word, guys. Shanae. They don't know. Who is it?
Amanda Gorman.
Thank you. Oh my God. Let's see.
Direct. Oh, no. Mary.
Oh my God, you got going now. Oh my God, I can't. Okay, let's see. Trump was unworthy to be president. I know everyone said this. Let's see. She's in the House of Representatives. ADOS. Trump was unworthy to be president. This was after January 6th. She's in the House of Representatives. Yeah. First name begins with an N. But DA is probably going to put Kanye. Pelosi.
Lately.
Pelosi. Yes. Huh?
So she's
she has been. Yeah, her and Maxine. All right. Last one. This is from a rapper. Grass looks greener on the other side because it's fake. He has the best quotes on Twitter. Mother Nature.
Nancy.
Oh, they're behind. Okay. I guess they're behind.
DA's not.
Who even knows? He's just like throwing stuff out there. Like, what in the world? Grass looks greener on the other side because it's fake. Your favorite rapper.
The Cube.
Not Ice Cube. Yes, Ice-T. Her back. Oh God, wait. When did we talk about somebody's back? Oh, that was a long time ago, wasn't it? I don't even know. Andrea, what are you saying? Her back? Who's back? I know I was talking about Melania on her back. That was a segment ago.
It was.
Okay. That was a whole segment ago. All right, one more, last one, and then we'll wrap up. When injustice runs deep, progress takes time. Let's see. I don't want to give too many hints. So he used to be a senator. He can play basketball.
I know who it is.
When injustice runs deep, progress takes time.
We need to remember that.
Yeah, I know. You're right. Welcome to the chat, Andrea. Mitch McConnell. Jesus Christ. I can't with y'all tonight. What are they drinking in this chat? Like, what's happening here? When injustice runs deep. Where's Michelle? Because she takes this serious. Michelle and Infinite.
An Infinite, yes.
When injustice runs deep, progress takes time. Former senator, basketball player. I think he liked to bowl too. He's got 2 daughters. A beautiful wife.
Smoking wife.
Mm-hmm. When injustice runs deep, progress takes time. You know it, don't you?
Of course I do.
I think there's there must be a big delay here. I don't know how delayed Andrea is because she said her back and that was very confusing. But it is definitely a delay. Shaq. Okay. Shaq has a smoking wife. Like, who's his wife? I guess he does play basketball, but he was not a senator. He was not a senator. Yes. Thank you, Barack Obama. When injustice runs deep, progress takes time. That is a great quote. Yeah, those are great guesses, everyone.
Entertaining.
It was entertaining. We're going to wrap up the show now. I guess we are going to, what are we going to do? Talk about some type of resolutions, resolve for 2022, moving forward, if that's not one of the phrases we have to get rid of. What you think should happen moving forward for 2022, or just your thoughts in general.
Brian, this 2022 is here. That's something in my. I think that we need to move forward for 2022. We spent most of 2021 crying about 2 particular senators. We are officially in 2022 and we have midterms coming up. I think we need to shift our focus to looking at every state that has races coming up and figuring out what additional seats that we can pick up, so that one person or 2 people does not yield power over a 50-person membership. Yeah, I think we need to focus on that. I think we need to give more focus to local and state races. I think that we need to educate ourselves even further on the electoral process, what it means to be a poll watcher, what it means to be an election official, what it means to be a tallier, and get people in place, just like the Republicans are doing, so that we have someone to look out for our best interests. Yeah, I just think we kind of need to shift our focus to doing things to mitigate some of the actions that some of the state legislatures and the lack of action on behalf of Congress as far as a voting rights bill. We need to shift focus. We probably got the water taken care of for the people standing in line in Georgia. We need to make sure that the votes stand as they are counted.
Right. In
Georgia and other states.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. What she said. I didn't know what I was going to say up until probably a minute ago, but I kind of have like a personal resolution for 2022. As you know, and some people out there, my mom died almost 2 years ago this month, January 20th. And when she died, it gave me like a new focus on life. Like I always would take time to volunteer. Like, every year I would do something, some kind of giving back to the community. But when she died, it kind of refocused me and made me think of like, what are you leaving people? Not monetarily, but what are you leaving them? What is your legacy? How are they going to remember you? And that just became so important. It's so important right now because I think about how she laid the path with just like sending care packages. She wrote letters to the kids, like all of those things that she did meticulously and consistently. Those are the things that we remember now. So I don't want to say with that being said, I think that's one of the words those phrases that we're supposed to get rid of. But just with that, I just want, all of us to just take the time and say, what can we do for other people, right? Like this world has become so selfish. We have been so self-centered. We have somebody, you're on this side, you're on that side. If you're like this, you're a racist. If you're like that, you're complicit, you're this. It's just so much. Like, just do what you can do. You lead by example and maybe people will follow you. Like just a little less aggression and a little more understanding. And just let that be your legacy. Just listen to people. Try to find ways to meet people where they're at, right? We can't always like pull people where we are. We have to meet people where they are and help them along. And that's just been my personal goal. Is going to be the goal of honoring myself with the Quest show, with some other projects that we're thinking about, is just, getting our voices out there as best as we can, helping each other, pulling people up, just I don't know, like being that shoulder, just helping to carry.
You know what it is? I think if I'm hearing you right, part of that is finding commonalities with people, right? I've been hearing on the news a lot, empathy. We need to display more empathy, but I think it's more than, and it's more commonly used towards the anti-vaxxers, which I'm still trying to find that mustard seed up.
I don't know if I could do that one either. That's a tough one.
But as far as people just having differences, I think we need to be more accepting of that. Even people that we typically agree with, sometimes they're just going to feel differently, and we really have to look at people as an individual, and again try to find commonalities. If we did that, I think there would be a lot less for us to disagree about, and we would want to be more unified in what we do agree on, right?
Absolutely.
If you take back childcare, we have so many more working families that need affordable childcare than we do the 50 senators that are opposed on one side, or those rich and wealthy that have not a care in the world for their kids or how they're going to be raised. And it's from all walks of life: Black people, Latino, poor white people, Asians living in poverty, or working families. There's so many more of us, but we let small things that don't really make a difference, CRT, 3 letters that most people still don't even really know what it is, divide us instead of talking about, childcare. And, hey, maybe even, I don't know, regulating, childcare as an industry to cap prices or create subsidies. We really just have to think differently, think out of the box, and think in common.
Right. Personal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Personal and professional. Personal and professional. And that's just, my thoughts for 2022. But next week, please tune in because we are going to have Lauren Hubbard back. Oh, well, not back. Well, he's been interviewed before over in What's Up People News, but we're going to have him over here to talk about how his campaign is going. So please make sure that you guys tune in next week. He is running against Devin Nunes, so you'd want to hear, how he's doing in that bid.
Yes,
so, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so thank you everyone for being in the chat. Thank you, DA, for making us laugh. Mary, for making us laugh. And Andrea, thank you for dropping by. Who else is in?
Kevin, we see you're late, but glad to see you too. And
yes.
Hey, Andrea, so glad you dropped
by. Catch us and rewind. Catch us and rewind. You can go. You can check us out later and give us that thumbs up. It's not too late. You can still catch us. And anyone else there that we forgot. So yes, Happy New Year and have a good night. Have a good weekend, everyone.
And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we will.